Versatile Mage. Chapter 334. The Wolf-like Youth. In a shabby cave, a man in ragged clothes sat like a caveman beside a vigorous bonfire. On the other side lay a woman with a shocking bust, whose chest was pulsing steadily. The woman's army green pants had been taken off, revealing her pink underwear. The rather small piece of cloth was unable to completely conceal her plump booty, which was completely exposed and looked even more alluring under the illumination of the fire. Cave, bonfire, a man, and a woman, such a setup could easily provoke anyone's wild imagination. Why would a woman even come to this place? The man murmured. The woman let out a soft moan. Suddenly, the atmosphere in the cave became drier, as the sound of someone swallowing a mouthful of saliva was heard. Crap, I forgot to put her pants back on. As soon as the thought crossed the man's mind, Lee Man regained consciousness. She checked her surroundings with a blank face after her eyes sprang open, and discovered a man with long hair, like a caveman, staring at her. She immediately gathered her focus and began casting magic subconsciously. You are poisoned. The caveman smiled, exposing his teeth. His canine teeth were quite sharp, like two swords hanging in the air. You're a hunter? Lee Man asked in a calm tone as she collected her thoughts. The reason she had stuttered for a moment was because the man looked too similar to a caveman. Even a hunter who was in extremely bad condition would still look better than him. She could not tell how long he had been staying in the wild. More or less, at least I won't be able to leave this place in a short period of time, said the man with a smile. Did you save my life? Asked Lee Man. Yeah, the poison you caught is quite tricky. It took me a great effort to cleanse it when I caught it myself. However, your body is a lot stronger than I thought. I assumed that you would be unconscious for at least 7 or 8 days, said the man. Thanks, I'm not this careless usually, explained Lee Man. Why would a woman like you come to such a dangerous place on your own? Asked the man. Aren't you on your own, too? Lee Man returned the question. Her eyes were filled with the pride of an independent woman. You're right, so you're here for the treasure in the valley, added the man. His eyes peeked at her at times. Lee Man shook her head. She recalled the lightning she saw prior to falling unconscious, before taking a closer look at the man in front of her. I'm here to investigate the thing that has been killing lots of demon beasts recently. Oh, I see. The man shifted his gaze as he switched the topic. As long as you're not here for the treasure. Too many have died because of it. Too many have died. Lee Man was startled. Yeah, where do you think the poison came from? I've tried to warn a few groups, but they totally ignored my advice, the man said. This valley isn't normal. Lee Man frowned. She recalled how she was poisoned and the uneasy feeling she had when the group first arrived at the valley. She was an advanced magician and she still came so close to losing her life, let alone the hunter groups. It will take some time until your poison is cleansed. You should hide in the cave for the time being, the man said. Why are you here? Lee Man asked. To collect some stuff. The man smiled mysteriously. Have you had enough? Lee Man's expression turned dark as she glared at the man. If it weren't for the fact that he had saved her life, she would never forgive him for taking her pants off. When the man returned, Lee Man had already put on her pants. Her eyes were staring at the bonfire as she tried to figure out if the man had done something to her. She briefly checked her body. Her sensitive parts seemed perfectly fine. Her hymen was already broken. As a female battle mage, she had already given her virginity to the intense training in the army. It had nothing to do with a man. Can I ask you a favor? Lee Man glanced at the man who was walking towards her. Lee Man could not help but murmur in her heart. Exactly how long has he been living here? His hair almost reached the ground. His canine teeth were like a wolf's fangs. If it weren't for his seemingly ordinary human face, she would have thought that he was actually raised by a wolf, like in the film A Werewolf Boy. I don't have much time. The man rejected her straight away. I haven't told you what it is yet, said Lee Man, protesting in an angry tone. Sis, I don't have any time to spare. My life is still at stake here, the man said. Whatever you are doing, I can help you, but I hope you can send a message to the hunter group that has just arrived here. Tell them not to go any deeper. Their lives are at risk, Li Man said. Li Man had a fairly good impression of the group. Even though they were quite lecherous, she had gotten used to people staring at her like that. I should have just set up a notice board there. The thing in the swamp at the center of the valley has already been injured. However, several groups of magicians have been so keen to give the thing a warm hug lately. I can't stop them, complained the man. Li Man fell into deep thought. It was likely that there had been news spreading around about the earth element soul seed. As a result, many magicians had come to search for it. To their surprise, the valley was nothing but a trap, taking countless lives. On top of that, it was impossible for the people to learn the truth, as most of the groups were completely wiped out after coming here. As a result, more people would just come here and end up dead. If even an advanced magician like her had failed to protect herself properly, any other group would surely be killed. How do you know the thing is injured? Li Man was slightly suspicious of the man. Most of the people would have died halfway into the valley, and yet this guy seemed to be perfectly fine living here. That's none of your concern, said the man. I still don't know your name. Oh, you can call me Fan Mo. You seem rather familiar with this place. I don't want to see more people dying, and they are all intermediate magicians. Let me help eliminate the thing in the valley, too, Li Man said, staring at the extraordinary young man with a stern look. The military had the obligation to get rid of any potential threat. Since Li Man was a commander, it was a responsibility she could not avoid. Mo Fan was stunned. He began to inspect the woman whose tone was slightly dignified. I do have a plan to kill it, but I don't think it's plausible with the two of us. We still need someone nimble enough to lure the poisonous beasts away, said Mo Fan. There was a guy tailing us when we were entering the valley. I'm sure that he was using the military's way of tracking enemies and concealing his presence. I'll find him, Li Man said. It won't be good enough, either. We need someone strong enough, who could kite a commander-level demon beast. Sigh, forget it, let's give it a try. You should find the guy first. Just making it clear, don't try to take the thing I need. Otherwise, you all will be dead soon, said Mo Fan. I'm not interested in it, Li Man said in a rather calm tone. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.